If you're solving SAT math imaginary number problems the traditional way, you're doing way more work than is necessary. But there's a faster pattern that gets you to the answer without all the steps. Pause here and take a guess. What would your answer be? The correct answer is C. Now let me show you why. So the traditional way to go ahead and solve this problem is to multiply the top and the bottom by the complex conjugate. That's just a fancy word for the negative version of this bottom section. So what we would do is multiply the bottom by 8 minus 2i, and anything we do to the bottom, we have to multiply by the top. So we do that. And typically, the traditional way, you would FOIL or box method this out, and that would take forever. But there's a quick pattern that if you recognize with multiplying by complex conjugates will make your life a whole lot easier. And that is generally if you have x plus yi times x minus yi, you end up getting x squared plus y squared. Now let's go and actually do the math to figure that out. So if we were to FOIL this guy out right here, we do it for each step, that would give us x squared minus yi squared plus xyi minus xyi. And there's two things you need to notice. One is that these two will cancel out, but then two is that if you take the square of this, you get x squared minus y squared I squared. And we know that I is just the square root of -1. So this becomes -1. And if we plug that in, we end up getting x squared. So how that helps us here is that if we FOIL out the top and use our pattern on the bottom, we'll solve this much more quickly. So we have 24 minus 40i minus 6i plus 10i squared all over. Using our pattern, this would be 64 plus 4. And what does that end up getting us? Well, again, we're using our pattern. That 10i squared, that would just end up giving us -10. So -10 plus 24 is going to be 14. 40 minus 6, or -40 minus 6, is going to give us -46i all over 68. And then if we simplify this down, 7 over 34 minus 23i all over that same 34. And that's your answer. Follow for more SAT math shortcuts that save time and boost your score.